Okay, so this is a recap video for the first week in the programming session. So in the session we were using Moodle and we were looking at the programming section, and you've got the presentation on there as well. So all the presentations go on Moodle. So we opened up this demo project, this lo-fi trip hop project, and we just explored some of the different sections of Logic. So we looked at the arrange screen here where we can see of our different regions. So remember, these are called regions, which are like containers for information, and they will either be MIDI information. So if I double click there, we're going to see what's called the piano roll. So the piano roll shows as a virtual keyboard that is triggering the instrument that's on the track. So if I want to see an instrument on the track, I click on the track, and on the left hand side I see a channel strip, and you have a few different boxes here, and the top one here, the EXS24, is the instrument. If we click in here, remember there's three options here. You can either click this and it opens the menu to show you all the different instruments available in Logic. We can turn the device off and on, or we can press the middle button to actually open up the instrument. So this is the EXS24 sampler, and this has got a drum kit, which means it's got real drum sounds, audio files loaded into it that are being triggered by the different notes on the keyboard. We also took a quick look at audio. So the difference of audio, it still goes in a region, but if we double click, we get a different view. We see the audio editor, and this is where we can actually use audio that we've either recorded ourselves or audio loops from different places. So if we wanted to use some more audio loops, we could go to the loop browser over here, and if I wanted to change the drums, I could go to all drums, and we could go to something like acoustic. And just preview the different sounds. And then when I'm ready, just drag a loop in. Okay, so that's looped down there. And a little shortcut for you, if you want to zoom in on this, just select the region, press Z, and it will maximize it. Press Z again, and you zoom out. If I want to loop this, I can just move the mouse to the top half of the region and drag it over. So what we'll do now is I'll mute. So I'm using mute to turn off the previous drum tracks. So we've just got our loop at the bottom instead. Let's change the volume of this. Okay. So other things we looked at are the library. So if you were to add a new track, whenever you add a new track in Logic, the two main tracks you're going to use are either software instrument or audio. Audio is if you're using an audio loop or audio you want to record into Logic. Software instrument is any of the internal instruments, which can be things like drum machines, synthesizers, and samplers. If you want to use the library, you want to make sure that the instrument you're loading is no instrument, is an empty channel strip, and select Open Library. Click Create, and it's going to create a blank track for you, which is this one. And it also opens up the library, and you will get a default starting point where you can see all of the different instruments available. So if I wanted to go for something like a piano, I go to piano and I can choose a Steinway Grand. So I'll press Command K there, that brings up a virtual keyboard. That's so I can use my QWERTY keyboard as a keyboard. If you're in the Mac suite, you can just use the regular MIDI keyboard. Okay, or I could change this. Let's go back, let's go for something a bit more electronic. So synthesizer, let's go to EDM chord. Okay, so lots of sounds to explore, and this is something you really want to be doing at this stage, is exploring all the different sounds and instruments that are available, just so you understand what kind of palette you've got available when you come to actually make your piece of music. Okay, so there's a library. If we do have an instrument loaded, like this Chicago stack chords, we can load up some smart controls with this button here. And this loads up a very quick access. So rather than having to load up the instrument interface, you just get access to quick controls to tweak the sound. So we can change in something very different depending on the style of track that we're working on. The other thing you might want to play at this stage with is the mixer. So bring this up, or you can use X as well to toggle the mixer off and on. And here we can see the levels of all the different tracks and panning as well. So here we can see the drum break. I could solo this, so I'm just listening to the drum break. Maybe it's too loud, just put it down a bit. If I want to move it to the left or right, we can do that. Let's just reset that. You want to keep an eye on your levels. If anything's going into the red, just check that. Make sure it's not distorting and sounding like it's clipping or anything. Okay, so that was a very quick overview of some of the bits we looked at on this demo project. The next video is going to take us through just doing some simple sequencing as well. But as I said, make sure you are looking through the different sections of Logic. There was also the handout on Logic, which was the Logic Pro Basics. You want to be using this. This is the excerpt from the Logic manual, which explains all of the different sections that you are expected to understand. So you want to be grab this on your memory sticks and be looking into it each week. Okay.